to tonight's episode of Happy Life Talk. This is Ahmed Elkilany,
And Melanie grammar. Well,
and this was just an exception.
what is this now? So who comes first takes the lead first or what?
Well, I wanted to try.
Well, that's good.
Sounds very nice when you do it.
It is actually a good feeling. So, Melanie, how are you doing? Long time no hear.
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing fine. Well, let's get prepared for our new topic today because it's a little bit itchy and keep up the good spirit, guys.
Yes, yes. What is today's topic, Ahmed? Do you remember?
Of course, I do remember. It's about cheating.
Cheating, yes.
Well, Melanie, cheating is not a nice thing to have in a relationship, right?
Exactly.
But why do you think people cheat then?
Yes, this is a very big question, and there are actually a lot of answers to that question. And if we want to summarize that, I would say in some way, someone feels that he's lacking something within the relationship or maybe within himself. So he's searching for fulfillment outside of the relationship.
So he's searching for something missing, but or she, whatever. But do you think it could come out just for someone is greedy, he just wants more, he can get enough? Do you think also this
Yes.
would be related to something missing?
I mean, if you're greedy and you cannot get enough of something, this would show a certain dependence that you have. You're trying to fulfill something, you're trying to fill a lack or something that you're missing, but you're not managing, like you're not getting enough of it. It's like a little bit like a drug, no?
Mm,
We would talk about addiction actually. If you say, okay, I have one partner, and I need another, I need always something new. I'm getting addicted to this adventure or to this thing that the meeting new people or having sexual relationships with other partners would give me.
hmm I understand. So it's also looking for something.
It's also, yeah, of course, it's also looking for something, fulfilling some need or some emptiness that this person feels inside.
Okay. And do you know what kind of things could be person looking for?
Well, I think there is a kind of difference between men and women. But of course, both reasons or all the reasons can apply for both. But I think women are more searching for feeling attractive when they cheat, like getting back this feeling of someone is interested in me. I attract other men. I'm still attractive. I'm still interesting for them. Um, Maybe they also search for respect if they don't get it in the relationship. And of course, they're also searching maybe sexual pleasures if this is not uh, available in the relationship, or even they try to find a reason to get out of the relationship. It's something more it's more typical for women than for men, but also men could do that. That they try to overcome a relationship where they're not happy by having sex with someone else or by cheating on their partner. Then, on the other hand, men a lot of times cheat actually to be able to stay in the relationship. They they like or they love their partners, and they are kind of comfortable in the zone where they're in, like the family. Maybe they have children with their wife or girlfriend. So it's a safe place. It's a place where is called home. It's a place where the children are. It's a place where there's love. And to be able to keep this relationship where maybe they're not having um, the their desires fulfilled, or they're not getting the sex they want to have, they try to fulfill the sexual desires or other wishes outside of the relationship to be actually able to maintain the relationship.
Well, this means he has a lack of sex in his relationship, or just like
Could
that.
be one reason, yeah, could be one reason, like lack of sexuality. There are actually a lot of marriages where more or less 20% of the marriages don't have sex, for example.
And in order to keep this marriage going, he just goes and gets the missing part from somewhere else.
Yeah, but it's just one reason. It's just one thing that can be lacking. I think often it's more about getting attention, being seen again, getting to know yourself again also. Because within the partnership, you become a part of this couple, you become a part of this family. And sometimes people go out of the relationship and have relationships with other people to experience themselves in a new way.
Okay, but wouldn't it also be, for example, that some people um, like eating fish and some people just like to go fishing? I mean, the
Well,
enjoy.
what do you want to say with that? Can you explain that a little closer? I mean, I like eating fish, but
What I mean is, some people like to have a fish to they focus on the meal itself, and this is a relationship. And some others want to like they enjoy fishing more than eating fish. They enjoy going and every time finding a new fish and new relationship, a new adventure, and then the next day there is a new journey to the sea and go fish another fish and so on. They just enjoy the process of this adventure, getting to know someone new and so on.
yes. I mean, I think you're totally right. I mean, of course, there are people who are more comfortable in the family surrounding, like they're searching for a relationship and they want to have something solid, yeah, stable. And there are other people who enjoy more the adventurous, getting to know people. But eventually, actually, each of us has two basic needs. And one of this need is the need for security, bonding, and love. And the other need is a need for excitement, and novelty, and desire. And it sounds very contradictory. In a lot of situations, it actually is. It means we want to be in a solid relationship, but once we enter into the relationship, everything becomes very stable, and maybe there's a routine, like a daily life routine. There's a lot, maybe there's even love, but can there still be desire?
Mhm. I understand what you mean. Well, if there is going to be a desire, that's a good question. I think we are stuck between two things. I want safety, I want to feel love, I want to feel secure, and on the other hand, or stability also. On the other hand, I also want adventure and desire and you know, this adrenaline thing. And I think the problem is people start with adventure and desire because they get to know someone else, someone new, and they want to try to show that this kind of excitement and even also give the other person some excitement about the new future that they're going to have together and things like that. And once they are together, all of this goes away, and they start focusing on settling down, stability, and then they forget about the first part. The funny thing is, the first part stays as long as it can stay. Could be even for years having these adventures. Once, but this is before they are together. Once they become together, it just vanishes. And it goes to responsibility and security in one place, and then all this is gone. And the human nature does not have cannot have either this only or that only. Because why does the adventure or this excitement took part first place? You cannot just go and meet someone and start talking about stability and a home and things like that. You don't go this way. You start first with adventures and passion and desire and other things, and then you go to that. So actually, you need this to go to this, but you don't go the other way around. So actually, both are needed. And the smart person or the smart couple would be the one who can make a balance between the two of them. The one who can have passion and desire all the time, and also on the other hand, they have stability and security and love. Well, we can talk forever about the reasons of cheating and why people do that, but because there's endless number of reasons or endless amount of reasons why people would take this step and um, do this. Now, I would like to ask, how can we prevent this from happening?
Well, you summarized it in a very good way. So, as we know that we have this problem that nowadays in a relationship we're searching these two things. We're searching security, stability, and love on the one hand, and on the other hand, we want to have novelty, excitement, and desire. Desire is connected to novelty and excitement. If we don't have excitement and novelty, the desire is vanishing little by little. This is what we can see in a lot of relationships. And especially the moment there's a very strict commitment, like when you are married or when you have children, it gets every time less and less. Also because the focus and the energy goes into a different direction. Once we think we are safe, we have this relationship independently of whatever going to happen. We don't have to worry about that. We don't put our energy focus anymore on it. It means maybe our creativity and our energy goes into our work, or in our hobbies, in our friends. Maybe we are this excited person or adventurous person when we are with other persons, but maybe we leave this part of ourselves, this part of our personality for the outside of the relationship world. It means that our relationship is a place where we come after work, after partying, after being with our friends, to a place that is safe, but it's not exciting, anymore. So it's a routinarious place where we would talk about daily stuff. Maybe we don't have the exciting conversations that we had with our partner at the beginning of the relationship. Maybe we switch to who's going to pick up the children, who is going to wash the dishes. Maybe we even have conflicts because of these things. And all these things kill the desire on a long term. So if you want to prevent cheating, one good step in this direction is to prevent losing desire and excitement in the relationship. And how can we do that? What do you think?
Before I say how we can do that, do you mean to prevent not losing my desire or my partner's desire?
Well, in the best case, both.
Both.
Both
Well,
desires.
I think this is a good start, and actually, most of the people don't take it in consideration. I mean, they don't think there's actually something they can do to keep or to prevent losing the desire. They don't think so. They think that it's just gone. I think it can be kept. I think it can be even, uh, you can even make it go stronger, be stronger. You can make it grow, not even go in the other direction like desire goes less. You can even always make it go stronger and bigger. Um, and I think from my perspective, the best way to do that is to always find a new topic, a new project, a new subject that puts excitement to both of the partners in this relationship. And first of all, it gives them the excitement and the desire to work together on this, or doesn't matter what it is, but something that they both like and it excites them. And this doesn't just bring the desire in the relationship, it also gets them closer because they're actually doing something that they enjoy together, and it makes them happy at the same time. And I think this needs also to be conscious by both of them, what they're doing, and they plan it more and more often in regular basis so that it also doesn't go boring, you know? It's not just you create something and then it becomes also routine. That's the thing. Routine kills desire. And desire has to come from things that change and always add excitement and new actions that's happening. And I think if they manage to do this, and of course it needs will from both of them, if they could manage to do that, then there will always be desire in this relationship.
Okay, that's a very interesting approach, I would say. And I think you're right. I mean, if I understand that correctly, that you would say one idea would be that the couple has a project together, or they would start something creative, like maybe think of different places they want to visit, or maybe a book they're going to write together, or maybe I don't know, something creative that they're going to do in together in that situation.
Yeah, well, I think let me be a little bit superficial. If you watch movies and you see movies that talk about couple that have issues and they go to the therapist, I don't know what your opinion about that, but they would tell them you need some excitement in your life, like maybe take a vacation away with your children. Don't take your children with you. Go to some hotel, make a role play, get some, I don't know, some exciting clothes that you should wear in this role play, and then do something different than your normal routine. And I think when people break the routine in anyhow and do something just for both of them outside of this bubble, the house, just get out of this safe bubble and do this exciting, different routine than the normal. It it puts this the desire back. And if I think couples should do this, I'm not saying this specifically, but this is one example of the things you can do on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I think that's a very good proposal. Just get out of the house, leave the kids with someone, and do something exciting together. Um, Also, what is very helpful is to try to see your partner from a different perspective. Try not to see it as a person you think you already know. This is something what happens to us. Like, we think we already know this person, so it's not interesting anymore. Our brain does this actually. Something, it's like categorized. We think he's like this and that. He's my husband. He's the father. Or she's my wife and the mother, and maybe the one who cares for the house or whatever. And this is not an interesting person anymore because we categorize it that way. But that's not true. It's actually an illusion, and when we try to start seeing our partner the way he really is, and therefore I think we have to leave each other a space for our individuality. It means the couple cannot be like the whole. You remember the oranges?
Yeah, of course.
So if we have that idea of the two half oranges put together into one, then actually we don't see each other anymore. It's very important that we are these two separate oranges, and every orange has its own tree and its own place where it plays and grows and has its hobbies and friends, and so when we come together, we share our experiences, and everybody tells what happened on the other side, where he was, and it also brings excitement to our life because we discover our partner, and we let him discover himself, and this process of him or her discovering herself and then bringing this information together is novelty and is excitement. But therefore, it's very important also to work on the jealousy, also to let this space be there, so each of them can grow in the direction they want to grow. Not be scared that the partner is going away from us, because the more we are scared that our partner is going to develop in a different direction, and we want to hold him, and we want to make this not happen, the more probable it becomes that cheating happens.
Well, I totally agree. So basically, the key thing is break the routine and give your partner his individuality. And actually, even the part of giving him or her the individuality comes from breaking the routine, because it breaks the routine or the solid fact that you know about your partner, and it just gets stuck and doesn't change. While it actually changes, but you don't get that because you already got this idea and you stopped at this part, and this is also a routine kind of. So the
It's very contradictory, and actually we're sabotaging ourselves in a lot of ways, because a lot of people, actually all of us, when we see our partner change, we get scared because it touches the base, the first basic need. You remember the security.
Mhm.
No? If something changes, we have the feeling we're losing our security. If he changes, then maybe he doesn't want to be with me anymore. If he changes, then maybe he will be different. Maybe I will not like him anymore, or her, right? So we are scared of our partner changing. So we're trying to prevent this. And by preventing this, we are creating a static thing that is not flexible anymore, that doesn't have any movement, that doesn't excite us anymore. There's no novelty, and we lose the desire.
Then I think what smart partners should do is to stop immediately um, being scared about this, be smart, sit and talk together about that. It's important. Communication is very important at this point, and must confirm and admit that not just your partner changes, you also change. I mean, both of you changed, and this is seen by both of you. So
Yes,
you see your partner
yes.
change, she sees you change, and you both get unsecure. And I think the smart partners should do the following. They sit together, they say, we change, we should make each other feel secure and safe, like say, okay, we are changing, but we are changing together. We're gonna grow, but we're gonna grow together. We're gonna be there for each other while changing, so that we get to know each other every single time we change. And we get excited about getting to know each other, and then use this change instead of using it as insecurity, using it even for creating excitement by getting to know our partner every single time he or she changes.
Well, yes, I would agree. I would agree with that. That is the ideal case, that we create a space for each other where we can live our individuality. So we will not be scared of losing ourselves in the relationship, but at the same time, there is a stability and a security. We have to combine these two factors because these are basic needs. And what you already mentioned is the key factor to that is communication. The key factor is always communication, and this is why we had the first episode. Remember about how to keep a relationship healthy? It's communication,
Of course.
and not judgment. It means When I have the feeling I want to change something, when I need something different, I have to communicate this need. If I don't communicate this need, it will create a conflict. If I just go out and cheat because I feel I miss closeness or I miss sexuality in my relationship, this is based on the fact that I'm not communicating it. Maybe if I communicate it, that can be a solution. Maybe we can be creative, find something new, invent us, give it some space or some new roles. I don't know, like reinvention. I think is very important. And actually, in a lot of situations when people when people cheat, after that the partner becomes interesting again. Like, imagine a situation, the husband cheated on his wife for a long time, then she gets to know it, and they separate. Now suddenly, they are two separate people, and there is not this whole orange anymore, but there are two separate oranges. And these two people can be interesting in each other again. They can be interested in each other again. They can, because it's again something new, and they start developing in different directions. But the problem is, the base of trust is destroyed.
Yeah.
So actually there's no option anymore for them to come together. Or if there is an option, then it will be difficult to overcome this time where the partner has been cheating and lying, and to reestablish the trust.
Okay, now that you mentioned this, what shall I do if my partner cheats?
Yes. Now, this is a difficult question to answer because it, of course, again depends on the person. What are your standards? But generally, I would carefully say that cheating is overrated. Means it's of course very hurtful. It has a big impact on us when our partner cheats. It evokes a lot of negative thoughts about ourselves, about the relationship, about our partner. We feel humiliated, and this we cannot make it smaller than it is. It is really hurtful. But a lot of relationships that really have lasted for a lot of years, if you ask them if they have been always faithful to each other, a lot of them have not. It means a relationship is not a thing that we can put into a box and say, this is the way it is and it will stay like this forever. It's not like that. If you think like that, you will cause a lot of problems with any relationship, and it's very probably going to separate. The relationships that last are the ones that are flexible, that are trying to go with the change, be flexible to whatever is going to happen. And cheating is one thing that should not happen in a relationship, but at some point it can happen. And if you are able to reestablish the base of trust and the communication and work on the things that actually lead to the cheating, now you try to eliminate these reasons, the relationship can also successfully continue. So it doesn't always have to be the end of the relationship.
Well, I didn't say it has to be the end of the relationship. I understand what you mean. But now that I hear what you say, I don't want to hear someone coming and saying, okay, listen, honey, you see, you heard her. Long-lasting, long-lasting relationships are the one where the cheating happens. I don't know. I mean, it's a bit confusing now. Um, I understand what you mean, but this shouldn't be the base, right? I mean, I cannot just say um, successful, long-lasting relationships are the one who cheating is accepted.
Okay, this is not what I said. This is definitely not what I said. What I wanted to say. Obviously, there are long-lasting relationships where cheating happened. That doesn't mean that it happened in all of the relationships. What I wanted to say with that is that for a relationship to be successful, both partners have to be prepared that there will be changes during the relationship, that each of them has to have the freedom to be his own person within the relationship. And if there is a good base of communication, then anything that one of the partner is lacking, he or she can communicate that within the relationship. So with this, we have the keys to prevent the cheating. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
But let's assume that we don't have this, we didn't know about that. And the moment the cheating happens, we start to recognize, we start to change things. Then there can be a certain flexibility, and maybe we can forgive. Maybe we will not forget. When one of the partner cheats on the other, maybe the wife or the husband or the girl or the girlfriend or the boyfriend is not going to forget that. And maybe it's also good that it will happen like that, and he's going to remember the other person. You know, you did that to me. It was very hurtful. And I don't want this to happen again. But when we just end the relationship because someone cheated, we're losing a lot. I mean, we're not only losing the partner, we're losing the whole life that we established in that moment, and maybe if we're together for a long time, then the whole surrounding. I mean, we have to start a whole new life. If we cheat because we want that, because we don't want to be with our partner anymore, then obviously this is the way to go. But in a lot of situations, cheating happens because people are together for a long time, they have lost desire, maybe the sexuality is not the way they imagined, they try to get attention again or be seen, they want to feel attractive, feel interesting. And these things, they are based on the fact that they didn't have this in a relationship and they were searching it outside. So if we are conscious about that, then we can find a way to reconnect these two people, try to establish a new base of trust, and eliminate the factors that actually were a problem in the relationship.
Okay. So in other words, now, if my partner cheats, what shall I do? A, B, C.
Well, this is not so easy. I mean, this depends really on the individual situation. What are the reasons he was cheating? Is he regretting that he was cheating? Does he or she want to come back? Do you still want to be with him or with her? There are a lot of factors. Actually, there's no recipe like that. I'm sorry.
Well, let's hope just it doesn't happen. And then we have a very happy life.
Well, I think when we enter a relationship and we expect commitment, which is normal, of course we don't want that cheating happens, but the moment we enter into the relationship, this probability is present. Doesn't mean there has to be a higher probability, but it is present. But it's just a risk. But by entering a relationship, we get so many things that this little risk that is going to happen. Maybe you can ask yourself, okay, if this happens, am I going to survive that? Am I going to overcome that? And if the question is yes, then in any way, it's really worthy to try and to work on the relationship and give it a good start.
Well, this was a very serious talk today.
Well, I would say you were in a much better mood today than the last time, and I noticed you very active.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I was very active this session because you took my intro, so I took some of.
Well, is this a competition now?
It's not about competition. You took one of my parts, I took one of yours.
I understand. It's definitely a competition.
Well, Melanie, thank you for the session today. Would you like to add something?
I think I'm going to make a quick summary, if that's okay for you.
Of course.
Okay. So the basic things that are important if we want to prevent or lower the probability that our partner is going to cheat is that we try to bring novelty and excitement to our relationship in any creative way that we can imagine, doing projects, go for trips, meet new people, do new things together, but then on the other hand also give each other the space to develop his or her own identity and change and make own experiences. So this will also bring excitement because we then have something to talk about, something that is not just a daily routine, but some new things, and we're going to see our partner from different perspectives. We're going to see this real unique person that he or she is, and not only something that we have categorized and we think we already know. And the third point is communication. That's very important, that we feel we can communicate our needs and things we don't like, things we like. Think also always about the positive communication. And yeah, these are the basic things, I would say.
Well, this brings us to the end of our session. Uh, would you like to tell us about our next topic?
Yes, I would like to do that. And I have to say that our next topic will also be a little bit heavy, but it's an important topic because there are a lot of people who are experiencing this kind of issue or problem, and it is about emotional dependence. Means we're going to talk about how can you know if you're actually feeling love or if you're in a situation of emotional dependence, and what can you do if that is the case.
Okay, interesting. Would like to hear your opinion about that.
Yes, you will.
Okay, thank you everyone. This was Happy Life Talk, and this is Melanie Grammar.
And Ahmed Elkilany.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you next time.